Hello.
Hello. All right, looks like we've got a good crowd. We got about 10 people out there. We had about 19 people register, so our attendance is getting a little bit wider, which is awesome. Pretty cool. All right, so I believe we have some MVPs on the call. So for the MVPs, can you go ahead and raise your hand? And we will introduce all the MVPs. And then as the standard format for the customers, after the introductions, for the customers that have questions that are not already posted or may have already been posted to the chatter group in communities, we'll ask you to raise your hands, and then we'll go to you for some questions, and hopefully we'll get some great collaboration as well as feedback. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Joshua Hoskins. I am a Salesforce MVP, and I am a solution architect at Apereo. I've been in the Salesforce community for quite some time, and I have the privilege of sharing this call with other MVPs. And right now I see Deepa and I see Jackie. So let's turn it over to Deepa first. We'll introduce the MVPs, and then we'll take questions. So Deepa, over to you.
Hi, I'm Deepa Patel with Haluk Consulting, and I have been doing Salesforce work for over 5 years almost. And I'm a Salesforce MVP and a Silicon Valley user group co-leader, and I enjoy this. So give us your questions. We'll help you.
All right, cool. Thanks, Deepa. Thanks for being on. Jackie?
Good afternoon. My name is Jackie Travieso. I too am an MVP. I'm also user group leader, co-leader with Jared Miller for the Tampa Bay user group. And I am an independent contractor myself. So these calls are really great. I hope that you guys ask all of the questions that you have, because this is a wonderful place to get some guidance.
Cool. And tell your friends. All right. Do we have any other MVPs out there? Okay. All right, cool. So, the normal format is that the questions normally don't get captured before the call. So if you do have questions out there, please do. I encourage, even if you're listening in, no question is less of a question. So I encourage you to ask, or maybe just share what you're going through right now, or any projects that you're working on. So customers, go ahead and raise your hand if you have any questions. Else, I will pick on people. All right, so Smita, you're out there?
Smita, hi.
Hey, Smita, how are you?
Good. I actually also sent a message. And basically, so I have actually been using Salesforce for almost 5-6 years now. My company migrated from SalesLogix to Salesforce, so I helped with the whole migration. The one question I have right now is I'm actually looking for a group to study for the Advanced Admin Certification. I will be attending Dreamforce this November, and if there was any group that I could sit and work with, to study and discuss questions and stuff like that, that would be great. So that's one thing that was on top of my mind.
Joshua, do you want to help her with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
All right. So, Nita, there's a group called Ovalis Group.
Ovalis, okay.
Yeah, OVALIS Group. Mm-hmm. And what this group is, it's a self-study group. So what you do is you join the group, and then there are groups for every certification. And once you join the group, what the format is, you teach yourself and you get ready to teach others. So the concept is, if you learn to teach, then you're going to remember everything, and you collaboratively work as a group to teach each other, and so people learn from each other as well. And they have almost like 100% passing rate. So look them up, ovalisgroup.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will do that.
Okay.
All Awesome. Jackie, do you have anything to add? I know you guys do some stuff in the user group. I mean, we can probably ask her to check out her local user group. That's also a source. But I think Jackie and Jared are doing something awesome in Tampa that I'd like Jackie to share with the rest of the team.
Sure, absolutely. A couple months ago, we did a study group. We opened it up to our entire membership and had people join and put together some training materials and went over all of the different pieces and parts for the system admin, the first level certification. And Jared actually led this, and he did a fantastic job. So we just as a group did a come together and review the materials and ask questions and run through scenarios.
So is there anywhere I could get the material, or is the group still active that I could go and work with and look up? Is there anything I could get access to?
Let me check on that and find out if Jared has the material that he can disseminate. I'm not sure where he stood on that. Let me find out, because I didn't own that, he did, so I don't want to speak for him. But I can definitely find out for you.
Sure.
Yeah, Jackie, and if you just post the details to the group, when you find them, you can just post it to the chatter group. And Sunita, you can also look at the chatter group on success.salesforce.com.
Sure.
Yeah, you'll be able to look at the MVP office hours groups to get those details.
Will do. What I was going to say though is that I have already done the first level certifications. I was looking actually for the advanced. So, but
where are you located, Nita?
San Diego.
Okay. You might also want to reach out to the San Diego user group. Rhonda Ross runs it.
Right.
And so you can see if she has some suggestions for you as well.
Will do.
Yeah, and she's awesome. Okay. Was that helpful, Sita?
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, all of you.
Hey, no problem. We look forward to having you again.
Yeah.
All right, over to Brendan. Brendan, right?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Go ahead with your question.
So I just started doing filter lead scoring, so putting rules to when leads come in. Typically, we just use a pick list, which has any one of 6 different options. And I found a new app. There are a few apps out there that do automatic lead scoring with specific criteria that goes beyond it. Do you guys know anything about that, and if those are really worth the expense and time?
Yeah. So my first take on that is nothing really.
Okay.
I've used lead scoring with PickList, similar to you have. Most of the customers that I work with, they actually use bigger tools like Marketo and things like that to sort of analyze the lead and do deduping. So you'll find that in any enterprise tool where they'll have the scoring matrix for you. But I'm sure either Jackie or Deepa can talk about some of their other customers and best practice around lead scoring. And obviously, you can build a solution and implement it with workflows and things like that. Jackie,
yeah, we're professional. So.
Okay, got it. Well, yeah.
I believe I had, this is Jackie. A while ago I had a customer who used just formula fields to come up with a rating. So you have to kind of decide on what it is that you're trying to rate and what the values of the different data points would be.
Okay.
And then from there you can create your formula fields that then can aggregate all of that for you.
Okay, yeah, because currently we use vertical response, which just brains in everything, but we don't have a specific lead scoring process outside of when lead gen gets in contact with them, they just mark them as, say, a potential customer, spam, or whatever the heck it is. But it'd be a lot easier to have some kind of system in place that's more automated.
So let me add to it. One of the things you want to consider when you do lead scoring is what is the criteria that helps you qualify the lead, right? So I've been working with a client recently, and for the very basic step we set up is 3 different criteria. Do they have a budget? Is the person who's the lead a decision maker? right? And then is it, because this is a software company, they're like, is this what they're requesting a technical fit? Now what ends up happening is, do you guys have leads coming from the web at all, or how do you get your leads?
We do get them from the web. Most of our leads come from individual marketing campaigns, but we do get people who come to the website and then they're automatically assigned to specific lead gen via lead assignments, but they don't have like a hot cold or anything like that assigned to them.
Well, hot cold actually ends up becoming a determination a little bit later. So one of the things that we did for this client is to make sure that the web form or wherever you having the customer sign up captures at least one, two, or three different fields that lets you define, what the lead, how well would they fit within your qualification criteria. And then we assigned a score to it. It says if it's a yes, it's a higher score. If it's a no, it's a 0. And then a combination of those three ends up becoming a lead score. And then you can create a list view that shows all the leads from highest score to the lowest score, or based on your criteria that you define as this is qualified leads versus these are middle tier leads and these are unqualified leads. So you want to think about capturing that information up front, and then going through that whole process and creating formula fields like Jackie said to get to your score. At least that will give you a real basic scoring, and then you can advance from it.
Okay.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense.
I just want to pile on too. That formula field is a great idea. Sounds like that might work for you if you have formula fields enabled in PE.
Yeah, I could talk with our lead gen and see what they would find valuable.
Yeah, I guess one thing I would add is less is more. Obviously, you probably want to avoid having a very, very complex formula field that's evaluating a lot of different attributes and things like that. I've seen very complicated, but they do slow down the rendering of a record on a page layout. So you want to do that. And there's also an AppExchange app that's out there that Bill is mentioning. It's called AppExchange Labs Lead Scoring, and that works really well for with PE if you use campaigns.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's by Salesforce Labs.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Bill, for putting that in chat. Yep. All right. So thanks. Was that helpful, Brandon?
I think so. And actually, on a follow-up to what was said in the last question, I had signed up for Avalis, or however it's pronounced, a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything back from them. Is there a specific process that goes into that? Do you have to log in, say, every day to see what new things are coming up, or do they let you know when events are coming up?
I'm sorry, what did you sign up for?
Oh, sure. The study group, it's pronounced something like Avalis or something like that. It was referred to in the last question, and I haven't heard anything from them. Yeah.
Deepa, do you have any insight?
You know what? I will. I will send. Nancy Jacobs runs that group, and I know that she's been sick for the last couple days, but I will send her an email and talk to her and make sure that people have been followed up on, because she's also got kind of where she's got subgroup leaders, and these leaders reach out to people. So let me send her a message and let her know that response needs to be given a little bit more love and attention.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I was just curious if I had to log in every couple of days to see what was going on.
Well, did you join a group, and have you did your group form a study group with a bunch of people in it, or you haven't even gotten that far?
Well, I went to the website and registered. That's about as far as I got.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me follow up with her.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
And then obviously your information is going to be in here, right?
Yep. Yeah, I just put it in.
Okay.
There's also, I don't think that this was mentioned, but there's also on the Success communities, there's a Salesforce.com training and certification group that if you haven't joined, you might want to, just in case you can pull some nuggets from there as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any other questions, Brennan?
Nope, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
hey, great to have you back. Keep on
Thank
coming
you.
and keep on inviting other people.
I try to.
All right. Anyone else on the call that has any questions? We actually have Andy Botcher. Is that correct, Andy?
There we go. Sorry about that. I was scrambling for my mic there. Yeah, this is Andy Betcher. Yep.
No worries. Hey, Andy, how are you? So Andy's a Force.com MVP, and he's joined and offered his time for any of the coding questions that we might have. So if we're done with the CRM portion or native out-of-the-box Salesforce stuff, we can move into the folks that have any Force.com questions. So if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. All right, I'm going to start picking on people. Bill, are you out there? All right, maybe he's on mute. We have Brian on, who is also a Salesforce.com MVP, and he's probably here to answer some questions as well. Welcome, Brian. David, are you out there? All right, moving along. Jessica, are you out there? I see people speaking, but I can't hear them. All right. Terry, are you out there? All right, we already heard from Smita. And what about Tina? Are you out there?
Hi, it's Tina.
Oh, Tina, how are you? I like the spelling of it.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, did you have a question for us?
I'm actually just trying to get my feet wet. Basically, my history, I work with Mid-Impact Health, and my history is I went to the training and really never got to use it. Other than a user standpoint, I have a few things that our IT department lets me have, but I'm starting to get more access, so I need to dive back in and start doing my training pretty much all over again. So I figured I might as well start listening in on what folks have been struggling with and learn from example.
Yeah, sure. Great place. Thanks for coming, and do share the officehours.info. They can sign up for new meetings. But in regards to your questions, the community is a great source of a lot of these details. I think you've probably already been there. Success.salesforce.com. And there's tons of YouTube videos on the internet. And if you actually currently have access to Salesforce, you have all the content that's available to you and help and training. These are sort of the standard go-to points. But what I'll do is I'll also give Deepa and Brian and all the other MVPs some input on that, because I think we all have pockets of information that we point to people.
Yeah,
the other
great.
thing I'm going to suggest is, like if you have questions related to how to, you have different groups for that, but if you have questions related to how do I strategize to get this working with Salesforce, there's also a process and strategy group on the communities where you can post your questions, and people will jump in and answer questions, and there's a lot of participation from existing customers. So it's like where do you have questions? Where do you need help with? You can join the different groups accordingly so that you can post. And feel free to post. Like, don't be like, oh my God, I can't post, or what somebody's going to think. Because the whole purpose of the community is to help each other out.
Wonderful. That's great.
Brian, are you on?
Yes, I am on.
Well, I know you got some secret training up your sleeve.
I don't really know if I have a good answer for this one.
All right. That's fine. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. All right, cool. I think I think Brendan has another question. So over to Brendan. Brendan.
I don't believe that I had another one, but I can certainly make one up off the top of my head.
That's fine. I saw your hand raised, but
I'm sorry, I forgot to put it down. All right.
Like we're in kindergarten.
Yeah, really.
If you have a question, let's go for it.
How y'all doing? What do you guys?
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but if you have a question, go for it. If not, I'm certainly happy to give people more time in their days. I mean, I think that this session as a whole
certainly
is good.
This will be my first Dreamforce. What were some good breakout sessions that you guys liked last year that you would suggest? Because I do a lot of like admin stuff. That's what I was going to look into specifically for like customizing our org.
Yeah,
Formula Ninja.
Question. Yeah, Formula
Ninja is a great session.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them out there.
Formula Ninja, and then the other one was like what I found very useful was the visual workflow.
Okay.
Joshua, go ahead. I'll shut.
No, go ahead. No, I was going to say Formula Ninja is a good one. I just want to say that it's a daunting task when you ever embark upon going to Dreamforce. It's something that we should all take seriously because there are a lot of sessions to go to, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming. Sometimes if you're with a group of people, what it makes more sense to do is attack the agenda and don't go in groups of people to one session, but to split and conquer the world basically. And as soon as you get access to Agenda Builders, when you want to start looking at the sessions and registering for the sessions, because that's when they fill up. A lot of them fill up before Dreamforce even starts. So I was going to recommend that. And is this your first time to Dreamforce?
Yep.
Okay. Also, one of the first things that I like to always tell people about Dreamforce is pack light and wear comfortable shoes.
Okay.
Comfortably. Because I made the mistake of, carrying my backpack, my laptop, my BlackBerry, the first couple of years that I went, or my first year, and it just was not worth it. So pack light, and I think that there are some other people that may want to chime in as well. So if you want to chime in and just, give some Dreamforce tips, go ahead and raise your hand, and we can go around the room with some more feedback on Best Tips Dreamforce. And the board is lighting up. All right, let's go over to Brian.
Hey, so I want to touch with some of the suggestions for sessions to look for. Formula Ninjas were already mentioned. Take a look for all the hands-on training. They call them HOTS. They will do a whole bunch of series of them where you actually sit in a room with an instructor, a stack of instructions, and they'll go through various different functionalities. And they have a range from admin-related stuff to developer stuff to things like visual workflow and things like that. I always found them incredibly helpful. Another session that I think is very neat was one that was done on user design and user experience. They did this last year and the year before. So if you wanted to watch, you can actually see them on YouTube. But it's really great about creating a process in your own org to get feedback on what users are actually doing in Salesforce, what are they trying to do, and how to basically give them a better experience. As far as general sessions, definitely wear comfortable shoes. The biggest thing I would say that I learned from all the times is don't bite off more than you can chew. It's very tempting to go in and sign up for every potential session, and then you're just running from one place to the next. Give yourself time to go to the expo floor. Give yourself time to do networking, meet people at the community lounge, and so forth. Don't go too hog wild that you're so tired that you can't go out and do like the gala. You don't want to miss that.
That's what I hear.
That's definitely a thing. Is you never know where the night may take you. That's my theme when I go to Dreamforce. So dress comfortably, all that kind of jazz. The other thing I would add too is don't feel overwhelmed because all of the sessions, if not all, are recorded. So you can still view them. It takes about a month for them to launch the recordings on YouTube, but they're all recorded, which is pretty cool. Let's go over to Jackie, and then we'll hit on Deepa.
Okay. So two things. One, make sure you spend some time in the expo. I always find some great value in meeting the various vendors and talking to them about their products and their services. So that is a good thing. And then also bring a FedEx or UPS shipping form with you so that you can ship all of your materials home. Trying to lug all that stuff around has been a problem for me in the past. Find out from your hotel which shippers they use, and then they should be able to take care of it for you. But having that prepaid form all filled out and ready to go, if your company will pick up the cost, that would be one of my big benefits.
Okay. Yeah, in my specific case, I work in Larkspur, which is right next to San Francisco, so it's not too much of a trek.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, good to know.
Great tips. Deepa?
I was going to say make sure you bring a battery charger and like a very small power strip. Like a lot of times you'll be between sessions saying, okay, I want to sit down, and they have really, really nice big bean bags that you can go sit on, and you'll see a ton of people sitting there and working and chatting and so the other thing is also that you'll have access to the Dreamforce portal via Chatter, and so you'll be chattering a lot in different groups to share what's going on, and so you'll run out of battery. So make sure you have a battery charger both for your phone and either your laptop or like your if you have an iPad. Like most of us carry iPads around. It's lighter, and we have access to everything on the iPad, and so they both run out of juice.
Awesome. Very good thing. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I travel a lot, so I lose all of my cables every time I travel. Just the hotel room just keeps them basically. So I went to the Apple Store and got like a juice pack, and I charged the juice pack, and that juice pack is not leaving my bag. It's too expensive for me to leave behind. So I have like 5 cables that I carry me in my suitcase. So if I lose one, I have it. I just bought an extra pair of headphones because I use those a lot too now. So I think I'm pretty stocked up for Dreamforce. All right. Andy.
Yep. Howdy. So I'm going to go a little rogue here, not talk specifically about individual sessions. There is going to be a session there and a number of sessions that you will want to see. I will echo, I think, I don't remember who it mentioned earlier, everything is available online later, so don't feel like you're going to miss it if you don't get it. It's the big thing I want to put out there. This will be my 3rd Dreamforce I've gone to. The first one I went to, it's overwhelming. There are people everywhere. There are more buildings. Seems like there's always another building that you're going to run into that has more stuff in it. It's overwhelming. Just relax. Take it in. You're there to have fun. You're there to learn some stuff. Relax. And also remember, I got burned on this, remember to eat and drink. Always have something to eat. Always have a bottle of water with you. It's amazing how quick the day goes by, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I am hungry, or I'm completely thirsty. And again, leading into the wonderful after-party activities, you definitely want to make sure that you take care of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. All right.
Yeah, okay, one last thing on the sessions. Something that we've been saying that everything's online, and that's not true. Roadmap sessions are not recorded and posted online. So you'll see things like roadmap sessions like what's the future of analytics and things like that are put on by Salesforce. Those are really neat sessions to go to, and they don't record those.
Yeah, that's very true. Good point, Brian. I know a couple of people kind of don't like to go to those because they can't touch it. But I always tell those people that it's a great insight to say what's coming down the pike, so that you don't make the decision to build something custom or over-customize your org for something that could be natively provided by Salesforce in the near future that's included in your license cost. So those sessions are the ones to go to because for the exact reasons that they will not be online, but most of them are. So if you see anything that says roadmap or something that is a code name or something that you don't know, go ahead and do that. Dreamforce is known to actually title the sessions like a code name before they release, and then when they release a new product or something, all of a sudden they unmask that. So it's pretty cool. Smita, did you have a question?
I do. I do. So it's away from all the sessions and Dreamforce that you guys are talking about. Although all your suggestions are awesome. I've already attended 2 Dreamforces, and that's exactly you have to have. I actually bought a big backpack, which is a roll-on, which I can pull along everywhere, and comfortable shoes. So excellent, excellent suggestions by all of you. So mine is more very CRM. So I'm going back to technical CRM stuff. And my question is on lead and account assignments. I want to assign, so my company wants to assign leads and accounts to an area, region, account manager based on zip code. And obviously creating formulas, with if statements with so many thousands of zip codes is not possible. I've looked at territory management, but it seems like that applies, at least from what I've been reading, it's a little intense. If you say I want to enable territory management, I get this email from Salesforce support saying you cannot do this. Be aware this will be lost. And this is like about 6 things that they say, including that you cannot use customizable forecasting. And if you have enabled it, then you cannot use territory management. So that seems a little intense. So obviously what I was thinking of was creating a custom object which has zip code, territory, area, region, owner. So more like, I can point to get the fields that I want from the custom object. So what are your suggestions, all you folks?
Yeah, lots of options.
I know.
So we have the ability.
I know, I'm sure. I know. So I know it's a big one, but I'd really appreciate. Yeah.
So there are a couple. I think that there's at least 1 or 2 packages. I mean, the zip code postal directory is just a CSV file. You can probably get it offline. I've done that in a lot of cases, and it comes with time zone information from some sources. You just want to be cautious that, if you import all of those zip codes into your org, you're going to pay for the storage space for those as well. So I don't know how many zip codes there are there currently, but each record inside of Salesforce for a custom object is going to cost $2K. So you just want to be cognizant of, how much storage you have and how much it will take up. And if you do, persist the zip code database in your Salesforce org, you want to take a look at how, what the impact of that is for you. And then you can build a trigger to any time that is changed. You can basically go get that record and associate the lookup field, so you can associate the object. And then obviously you'd have an extension to, obviously key more values off of. That's one way. There's APIs. I think that there's ProvenWorks, but ProvenWorks will only give you city-state. I don't think it goes down to the zip code, but it's a great address package. Or you might just want to, if there are only certain zip codes, you just may want to put in your custom object a certain zip code that they want to assign. If you don't have an assignment for every single zip code, then you may just want to start from scratch and just have the zip codes that you want to have. And there are definitely, Bill's saying, a couple of AppExchange apps for this as well. I'll pass it over to any of the MVPs who can also speak to this topic.
Thank you.
You know what, Joshua? I've not done it at that detailed zip code level, so unfortunately I don't have much to contribute because most of the times it's just either it's by country or state. We did a very, very complex assignment rule for a client that had an international company, but it's like we went by countries, And then those were then grouped into groups. So let me ask you this, even if you have zip codes, that's so hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the real question is, does it need to be zip codes? A lot of times zip code is very, very, very granular.
It does though. I mean, it does because so I've done country, I've done state, and but zip code, yes, because in one state itself, you have certain zip codes that are owned by one owner. And mine is a medical devices company, so those set of zip codes will be supported by a certain independent sales rep, and another set of zip codes in that state will be supported by a different sales rep, independent sales rep. So it seems like required. So.
You see, the only thing I can, but assignment rules are assigned when you create a record. So it's not like you can create a formula ahead of time that gets populated. And where are your leads coming from?
No, these are not even, it's more like, I think at the moment it's more accounts, but leads and accounts, like I said, as a medical devices company, so they're actually all the hospitals all over the world that are our leads and accounts on all different zip codes, right? So, and then depending upon where the hospital is, it will be assigned to a certain account manager, and more than an account manager, it's an account manager as well as a sales rep. So depending on the zip code, it will go to a certain. So there are obviously, I think, so 80% of the time, it's not that granular. It's more like country, state. It's pretty clear. It's more like the last 20% where, depending on the zip codes, it will go to different people. So, but it's so much tedious to maintain all of this. If it's all automated, so this is a code, from a spreadsheet, it's just, do a lookup, it's straightforward, right, where you have state, country, zip code, and then it is supposed to be assigned to this ISR. So all of it is maintained in one place. So, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of thinking here, okay? So I've got my thinking cap on, and I'm not so sure I'm going to come up with the right solution for you. But if you have that logic that you've built into Excel, right?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay, so have you considered how you can transfer that logic into Salesforce? Now, remember, what you're talking about here is an existing account. So it's not like it's a lead that's coming in. So if it's that 20% that's in question, can you take just those 20% zip codes and create a formula field that groups them into something, and then you can look at that to assign to an account manager?
So that's still, it's all manual, right? I'm actually looking for an automated process. And so yes, what you're saying is what I'm doing even right now. I just do.
Well, you can have a workflow rule and get, Joshua, tell me if I'm wrong on this. Can't you change the account owner with a workflow rule?
I don't think so.
Yes,
No.
I believe.
I'm not completely sure. Look into that.
No, I don't think so. I think you can do the transfer. You can do transfer.
I think you can do record. I'm thinking more case because I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I don't
cases.
think.
I know you can do record types, but I'm not sure about owner.
Yeah, well, the only other way I can think of is like you can do anything with Apex. And so how often does your assignment rules change?
They can change. They can change. They can change.
All right,
every month.
never mind.
Yeah, never mind because.
No, never mind with what I was thinking about. No, not never mind. Never mind. I know what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
no, we need to help you find a solution, but.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I know.
this is a pretty common case. So you may not even need to actually store all of the zip codes inside the database. What I'm thinking is you can probably have a skinny object, right? That has just making sure you guys see okay. You can probably have a slimmed down object that has a text field or a text area with all of the zip codes separated by a semicolon or whatnot, right? And then what you can do is you can then have a lookup that points to a user. And then what you can do is and then obviously you probably only have a subset of these records because I'll ask the question, is every zip code assigned to a person?
Every zip code assigned to a person. Every zip code. Yeah, so I do have a spreadsheet which says, these are, this starting from 9-1 to 9-3, all of those zip codes need to go to a certain person.
Okay, so maybe
we're putting a safety net for all of them. Yeah. Right now what I'm doing is, right now what I'm doing, just so you guys know what I'm doing is, I love Excel. I have my Excel spreadsheet where, the user, it's a central server. The user updates it with all the information as it changes. And she's like, you know what, I want you to go and update it. So she's like, it seems a little out of date. I made these changes. Can you update it? So I just export the ID and the account owner, and I just do the hospitals. I just do a VLOOKUP. I just actually do a VLOOKUP in Excel for the zip code, starting with the first 3 digits, and then I just go and change, and then I just go and do an update in Salesforce. That's what I'm doing right now, and it's working okay. But I'm just trying to find solutions out there. That's all. So.
Oh. And then
okay.
Brian just chatted in here as well as you can change the account ownership with a workflow rule, but obviously it's not a scalable solution because you'd have to have a field update for every single user that you have in your organization.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Actually, the number of sales people, they're not so many. They're just like 5 or 6. It's a small company at the moment. So maybe building the workflow. Yeah, that's not a big number. Maybe I can take a look at that then, the workflow rule. Because there's just like 5 or 6 sales people at the moment. So I could easily build a workflow for each of them. Awesome. I can look into that. Yeah, I'll look into that.
Looks like we'll have a potential solution for you.
I think so. Thank you.
Hey, no worries. Glad that worked out for you. All right. We're at 12 minutes past the hour. Is there any more questions out there from all of you talented people?
I have lots. Actually, this is Smita again. I have lots of questions because I'm trying stuff all the time. But I'm going to ask you this week. No, really, I don't want to hog the time. Just see if somebody else is asking, and then I can come back up.
Okay, cool. No one else is asking right now. So you have your final chance. If not, we'll have the same session. We have it every 2 weeks, and you're certainly welcome to tell your friends about it and come back and ask the additional questions that you may have. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a – yep, go ahead.
You know what I am going to ask? Why not, right? I don't want to – why not, right? Because
why not? We've got
very
time.
Actively. So basically what we're doing is so we have our deployment team, which actually goes and, to the hospitals to spend time there to figure out how it's all set up so that our equipment can work well there. So they need to enter the hours. They go 3 days a week, and they need to enter the hours, their time from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So they need to enter the hours. And at the moment, what we're doing, what I've suggested they should do is obviously the hospital, when they go, it is an opportunity for us, and they create an event on the opportunity. So it's an activity record, and then they enter the hours, which is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., so 3 days a week. And then I actually am generating a report which tells the how many hours they spent at the hospital. The only one issue that I'm having, it's a very specific issue, but the issue I'm having is calculating the number of hours based on the time they enter. It looks like if they want to, I do not know how to change, like if I say from Monday 8 o'clock to Friday 5 o'clock, it seems to take 24 hours into account. So it actually multiplies 24 into 5 days. And that's how it lists the number of hours. The only the workaround to this is I have to create it as a recurrence, and I have to say I have to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I can actually create a formula to say 8 hours for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I can come up with 40 hours. Do you guys know of any tools at AppExchange which does the same thing very easily without me having to go and manipulate it a little bit in Salesforce? Is entering hours against an opportunity in Salesforce?
My first thought is if you have a start and end date, and you have a start and end date time, you'll be able to come up with a difference of whatever that is. I know Salesforce used to have a challenge with this. I'm not sure. We actually just did the difference between open date and close date, and then we divide it out. So you may want to try that if they're custom fields. I think it's definitely possible. As long as they're testing date time fields and you can subtract the end date from the start date, it will give you a number, and then you can extrapolate that out, I think by minutes or by hours. I'm not sure what it gives you out of the box, but if you needed to get more granular, you can divide that by 60 if it gives you hours.
Okay.
That's one way.
Okay.
Anyone else on the phone? Oh, go ahead.
No, I think I have done
Yeah, but
that. But I was wondering if there were any other tools, like App Exchange tools that people have used, which have...
I haven't. My company, we use the Financial Force app that we originally built, and then we divested it to Financial Force, and we actually just put in the total number of hours we spend with the clients. It doesn't track the granular level of what time we started and what time we stopped. So that could also, I'm not sure if that's one of your requirements that you have to track that. Sometimes it's easier for people to track that versus just so many hours, but we just record the hours for each assignment that we have.
Okay. Can you hear me, Joshua? I had muted.
Yep.
Oh, you can
Yep,
hear me?
hear you.
Okay. I'm not muted. Okay. I had a requirement from a training company for something like that, where they wanted to monitor the number of hours that a trainer spent on training every day. And so what I ended up doing was creating a custom object that captured the hours on a weekly basis, and it was like Monday hours, Tuesday hours, Wednesday hours, Friday hours. Add all of those up, and you can have what Joshua is talking about. It's a start time, end time, calculate the difference, for that particular day, and then aggregate all of those. You could possibly develop your own custom object to do it, but the only other app that I think I know of besides project management systems is Financial Force that I think that does that.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We're just knocking your questions out.
Yeah,
well, I have to get going, Joshua, so I'm sorry. Thank you, guys, and I'm glad I was able to help, but I think I need to take a leave.
No worries. Thanks, Deepa.
Okay.
See you in a couple
Bye.
weeks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye. Anyone else have anything, or should we call it a wrap? All right. We'll call it a wrap. Thanks for attending, guys. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Are you? Yeah. Looking for people who came and got me before. Yes.
Tia Miller said their biggest pain point right now is adding products. There's enough paid products. And I'm like, so we job shadow with you guys, but let me find out what you're already doing today. I don't want to do what you are in the future.
No, we're not doing anything. I have a recommendation. Well, Glenn is already, I think Glenn is already trying to solution that himself. But, I mean, what they have is what's developed. I have told the team that I don't think product users. Anyways, what I said is that cool things. Then was like, well, what if we hold up on product users and we just put later and we just activate the user on the site, and then we get a feed from the site that puts in there, which is great to product users, is that they only have to make sure that context. The thing that we have to make sure is that they use context. We can't get product. So we are more thinking that we should just do a mass, allow you to mass enter contacts that are on there, because not all the time the people on the user page are going to be the contact that's first playing now. So the product users have to be entered because you want that piece to flow, because you want passwords to be set there and things like that. So I think we're trying to flip it around and say, their bigger issue is having to enter contacts that aren't already on the account.
Which is all good for your campus. I mean, that's not a problem.
Well, the thing is, it's not if you guys are going to do it internally, but I sent Gwen and Jackie and everyone.
She mentioned it.
Yeah, I sent her a thing. I've been promoting a thing called Outlook, which is one of our companies that we have on the website. But those types of cases are like they're not sites, right? They're just a common thing. And so for like, $5,000, you get a UI that will allow you to insert contact maps without having to set up yourself. Like you're doing it, you should be doing it. You guys just don't have to do force contact. So pay like $5,000 just to contact, and basically you crowdsource the get 5 of it, and let's say or Joe or Mike get together, they can select what they like.
Kind of like a web service.
Crowdsource. The thing is, like, it's a flat cost, and you get 5 different versions back. So, those quick wins are all custom outfits that the full kit is Google. You just write your requirements and post it. But it's $5,000 to get something at least. It just gives it's going to be a big advantage of having.
I think at this point, what I was really looking to do was the gender issues, but it feels like it's already out.
Yeah, I sat with people, but there's nothing we can really do. We understand that, but the Phil and Jackie on board. This isn't built the way that we go. What we didn't do is ask for it to happen. What we didn't, another additional thing in the R1 and R2, we created a bunch of worship. Yeah, I'll be right there. So it created a lot of different themes that were not really a part of the plan, which is the concept of it. So they have resources. So I don't think there's really more. So I sat with them a couple times, and I clicked past.
Yes, it's taken 20 minutes an hour depending on vision.
Yeah, but there's nothing that we can fix about that out of the box, right?
So it's a training issue.
Well, the other thing that they mentioned is that it's all about clickback. Like I've answered a lot of questions for Lisa. Like she sent me an email. She's like, how do I get to the contract, but without filling in the document? Like you don't have to fill in the document. You can tell me how to do it. So I feel like they didn't have really any interim training, especially the training itself. They didn't have adequate training at all. And so, most of what they need to is clickback. They're the only group that didn't sit down and actually show us, because it is this, and they're doing their own stuff. But no one knew how complex the other websites are. Because on top of the Salesforce stuff, we still have the other websites, which are pretty complex, especially for CSET. And they create your own username. So I think I've done everything that I can keep out of the box. Like, they need to make like that. They need to say, well, you can hover over this, and the things that they've asked to hover over, I've added. And then for the credit card information, I added all the credit card information. The application they have to do multiple. So those tweaks have already been done.
So it feels like all you get out of the box and sitting down within the business with there. Not heard, but from the time.
It may not hurt from a timing perspective. I feel like I've done everything, but you may want to list those things. I mean, I've been getting ad hoc. I haven't. Everything that I've gotten, I've impressed. So it's something that I'm without.
And I don't know how much after meeting with CS.
Well, the other thing is I sat down with Lisa. I gave her 30 minutes to do one thing, and I didn't get through the full order. That wasn't because she wasn't trying to. She was distracted.
It's lost.
Right. And so I didn't get through like one thing. I was like, show me one. The other thing is the processing manual orders. So manual orders are going to take them along. And those are the ones that I don't show me those. Show me the ones that are states that are going to be next time. Those are the ones that are processing each day. And I got to like 20 minutes about it. And I sat down with the credit card, and it was just like I don't know what I'm doing. People have to search it 5 different times. I don't find it. She needs to show me credit card. Then she finally showed me credit cards like 10 minutes left. So, I noticed that, what they were doing. So the other thing that we want to do is a Karen, which is also a post opportunity, is to do an integration with Pay and to take the whole credit card thing off place. And so Karen's initial thought was, we don't need to do an integration feedback because it's from Sora. And it's like, well, definitely, I think it's number one, it's a lot longer than it's so it's probably worth spending $5,000 to get an integration done.
Ouch. I feel like I'm out of here. I can say whatever.
Yeah, no worries. Hello. What's up?
So that's hello. I tried on that audio.
It's the same error.
So for me, it appears to be something that I stop.
When it's after you get to those records.
Yeah. So then this is even true. But I do it on DBM.
Yeah.
I go even farther. Depending on
so can you order it? Can you order it then? Can we order the query?
Okay.
So order the query by something, and then order the query by something, and then
what's sequential in your case? What's your sequential?
Do we do email address?
Email address.
Or username? Right.
This is
Oh, it's account query. Let's do by ID.
ID sequential?
Yeah. ID sequential.
Okay. When it's fail, I'll let you know. Take a while.
Well, you want to do that, right? Yeah. And that's going to give you you'll know what number to go to.
Yeah.
And then you want to do select star. You want to do select ID. Okay. You shouldn't get this there, but you go to select star. And then let's find the record that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do select star to figure out the row number first.
Okay.
And then I'll go to select ID, and then get the next row number, and then let's see what record it is. Where's that? What's that? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so it's after the trace notes, further towards the interstate?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Called Culver's. Okay.
Very good.
Sure.
Yeah, very good.
Gosh, I want to come in and see you. Your last face to come to work with you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's fine.
We've been on
in the stand-up meeting. I've only been here 3 weeks. You do it. Some of these people products the way to pay. It's great example of how they live in a I'm going to get in here. Here's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Those guys like to come in there and like blow it up.
We all know what we all survive.
Yes, we all just survive. So I'm actually moving to London. So
for real, London,
yeah.
like physically moving? Wow, really cool.
So I got a promotion like.
You've been in Singapore.
I've been in Singapore before, but I got a promotion like months ago. So this is my last project in Vancouver, and then I go on sales cycle. I'll be on the front side of deals, like helping the AE plans and stuff like that, doing scoping. That we can talk to.
Oh wow, what a novel idea.
Yeah.
So do you know how long you'll be there?
Or
indefinitely?
So it's like a year and a half. Usually the way they do agreements like that is to go and I actually open it to get for office and it's like a flood support. But usually the way they structure is to go for like a year and then you evaluate whether you want to go back after a year or you can't. I have friends out there already, so I think I'm probably going to be out there.
You're young enough to tell they just pick up and go. It's awesome.
One of the guys that I worked with, I remember that. In a day. Hey, everyone there. I'm like, well, you can probably do that for 20 right now. I'm going to do that
I don't know if you were there, but like, so I'm traveling, so I came here from San Francisco, but I brought my place out when I'm not there, so like I had to like pack something. I wasn't almost like, yeah, I really had to pack like a backup because because it's like not all of my like I have my running shoes, I brought some pants, so I want to wear shoes, so I have actually like. Never pair your shoes. Usually I just bring one. But packing shoes for so long. I monitor. I just got the monitor. Thank you.
No, that's your really done.
Still think it's a great product. I think it's checked out. It's great. You know,
if they had done a little more planning on their part,
yeah.
it's easier.
Yeah, I
more
think.
Scope.
Yeah, I think we could there's still there's no like there's one issue that seems like it's not an issue to work on, and that's it. I mean, there's no scrambling like fixing code. There's no like big. I think the biggest thing is the amount of enhancements that we're out of being able to deliver after go live, like all the dashboards, like all of that stuff, never in scope. So the dashboards, reports, all that kind of stuff. Those are the right solutions. When you have like your state in mind, then it just takes time to build the reports. But like as soon as you build the reports, like, oh, it's okay. I know everything's going on. So I just thought that was great. One reports, dashboards. Yeah. Because without knowing, you know,
the data's all there.
Yeah, exactly. The data's all there. So I never got to do it or anything, but like the moment after go live, I spend like all day, like all morning, and like reporting on Salesforce. Just because there's so many other points that you get, and then you get to like, okay, well, people are closing without putting their name on, closing provisions without putting their name on. Like, oh. Right. Or validation rule. So you don't have that. The reporting is really showing your bulk. I mean, there are things that they can tell. They can tell you how many people have an SLA. You can actually tell how long it's taking from start of producing to end of production, right? That's the metric that we're using. Now, when you close out all this kind of stuff is available. It doesn't really take a long time. It took me like 2 hours to build them out, and then put a grand full time. So, I mean, it can be extendable and have a foundation to extend to. There's nothing really that. Yeah, the only thing that's coupled together things are things that change, the R1, R2 split, or things that are net new that we didn't know during this podcast. So I think we addressed everything. And even now, like there's been a couple of things that come up where I found that to use things like here's what I had to work with. So I feel like we executed what we were doing. And that's sort of our methodology. Why, come in, you don't want to be there for a long time. You want to, you don't want to back up the bus. By on the project, you want to put the right number of people, right, good people on the project. Execute through the PMP, like stories. So try to say that didn't deliver. Lose track. Things come back on. So we have an agile approach. So I think that's it. And even when it's affects the requirements, like some of those things, or the code side story, and the code story. I feel like that's really well. For how to exploit certification that's able to adapt. I feel like that could be what happens. I've been able to build all those dashboards in my head, right? Cranking in my head. And I feel like the ability is there, but I think you're going to pull a lot of thoughts. So we want to overthink the notion, so we have to know like when things are admin related and when things are more bigger. Because like the quick stuff like that, even if it's like for like get them what's going to make sense right now, and then turn around and right, we're not to listen to. It's just fun to like use it, read your feedback, and then it's all about delivering the experience. I feel like spirits are just going to be able to stand up there and say, yes, we do this, so it's good. Everything is done. Now that we're in production, like, there's a lot of stuff that can be done there to make people more successful quickly. I think that's what I will really appreciate. It's like, what did I do yesterday? Well, here's what you did exactly yesterday. Well, why is my number up? Well, because you have 2 orders that you placed with that are actually yesterday. And like that constant builder right there, skyrocket. So keep pushing. Like I say, keep pushing and don't just do it because people are telling you to. Like, I never ever tell someone to do something that.
Speaking of which, stress, voters like are covering people that are out are asking to see DocuSign.
Okay.
And
yeah. Absolutely fabulous. I'll send out all my contact information. I'm on LinkedIn. Good stuff. You guys can reach me.
I don't even know your
Yeah. I don't have like a careful email with everyone.
What's your first name?
I'm moving the end of September, so probably October 1st. I think I take care of my shoe boy. And I'm not a shoe boy either. But I think I moved to Singapore with like 3 places. It won't be bad. It won't be bad at all. So I think I will keep my place there for a while. Yeah.
Well, that would be easy to sublet. So.
Oh.
There. Yeah. Crazy. So the community that moves a lot.
Yeah, I like that. When I first posted it on the Airbnb, so we're in the whole entire month. So I now think I have everyone there. Someone visiting today.
Okay. Really quick, DocuSign, they want the ability to see what's going on in DocuSign from people that didn't send it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why? It's all in Salesforce.
Mm-hmm. Because that might be an object that's private only, so you can do that.
What object?
Whatever the envelope object. Instead of
I didn't know there was an object for that. So all I knew is the documents themselves to get in the envelope had to be in DocuSign, something to begin with. You to put them in the envelope.
What are they looking? Are they looking for the envelope?
They're looking for the user page.
Thank you. Please stand by.